Question 1121. What was the dumbest thing you got punished for at school?
Oh.
Like,
oh my God! Where to begin?
That's me.
Where to begin?
The question, Dave, is like the thing you did was stupid, or it was stupid to get punished for it.
Either.
Yeah.
Go on.
I've got to think about that because there's a lot of answers I could give. So
there's a lot of I need more school questions for you.
I just realized I have two stupid things. One was early in kindergarten, and the other one was at the end of my senior year of high school. Interesting. Interesting bookends.
Spooky says, combined butt plug and watch. Get your friend to tell the time. I think you're still dealing with the last question.
Actually, I'm trying to remember what it was. I'm trying to remember what the exact fact was around this, but proving one of my school teachers wrong on something.
They don't like that.
Yeah.
They get really
They'd like you to agree with them whether they're right or not.
Yes.
Yeah, that was something I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to remember what the hell it was now that I actually showed him to be wrong on. And all I remember is I got fucking detention for it when I was like 10 years old, and it's like for being right.
Was it the history of the Confederate flag by any chance?
I will say it probably would have been history related because that was probably my. It sure as shit wouldn't have been science. I got to say that.
Yandia says chat wars, and he says I got into a fight over a dino coin. The hell's a dino coin?
Is that a Kent Hovind currency or something?
What dino coin is?
Oh, Dr. Dino coins. They're not subject to US tax law.
What's a dino coin?
Way too much like the other one.
What's a dino coin?
No idea.
I got a coin with a velociraptor on it.
Jeff, can you sing? Do not demonstrate.
No. Raptor. Velociraptor is its name. And then I used to spell it.
Is it?
Technically, define singing, Dave.
No, that's okay. You've answered the question.
Yeah.
And Jer says, not putting my hand on my heart during the Pledge of Allegiance. That's dodgy. God says, because the teacher was a moron. Chris Shelton says, talking too much. I got my mouth taped shut for the rest of the class period. What the fuck?
Is that can I ask Chris? Can I ask you? Was that a Scientology thing?
I assume so. He was brought up in it.
I'm just assuming because
question.
I'm just assuming that was something that happened in Science. I don't know. If that was like just a general high school thing, I'd be like, I'd really be.
All right. Okay. I've got to catch up very quickly. Spooky says, watching people who watched a fight. Ox says, getting stoned in the teacher's break room. I'm not surprised you got into trouble for that.
Oh, that's a good one.
That is you're a legend. You're a legend.
Fucking smoked all the teachers' weed. They'd just go in like,
that would be the only thing that was better, wouldn't it? If it was the teacher's weed. I got detention for getting beat up on school property.
That makes sense.
Actually, the funniest thing that ever happened at school with me though was where I went from crying to laughing my ass off in a matter of seconds. And to put it into some context, that now when I went to school, the stick was banned by that time, but there was some level of corporal punishment still allowed in British school, like slapping or whatever. You could slap a kid when I first went to school. 2 or 3 years in, that was that.
That was cool.
Yeah, but look, I went to school what 3 or 4 years after the cane was abolished, and then but you could still like you could still smack a kid with an open hand or something like that. But we got dragged in my primary school when we were about 5 or 6. Dragged into the headmaster's office for something. Now I can't remember what it was we'd done wrong, but me and one of my best friends, and he's still one of my best friends to this day.
And you can't ask him.
The headmaster slapped me right across the face.
What?
For whatever it was. Yes, I'm not joking. And I went, and I just, I started crying. He then went to do the same thing to my friends, who did almost like a Prince Nassim Hamed boxing kind of move, ducked it, and the teacher, headmaster, whacked his hands on the blimmin' on the wall, and it was like, ah! And I suddenly went from crying to laughing my ass off.
Godless Sewing says, my father smoked heavily and my high school attempted to kick me out because I stunk of smoke.
Wait, Dave?
Yeah.
Chris wants an explanation for the Toblerone.
How long you got, Chris?
Not you, Jeff, Dave.
If you go to
YouTube.com/badtemperedbadger,
youtube.com/badtemperedbadger, there is an explanation for Dave's Toblerone issues on my channel.
Thank you.
It's
That
his
was
fault.
helpful.
It was. The Toblerone is now canon. Gibbler says
owned by Disney, by the way.
Gibbler says having a porn magazine in school. God says I got punched by a teacher because I wouldn't play football for the school team. That seems like seems
I guess having a porn mag is better than making a porn in school. So yeah.
Why were you in trouble, Wanda?
I was making a comparison.
I'll just say, whoever said that in the chat, that's why you should play rugby at school, because if they do that, you can whack the teacher back in a subtle way.
Right. Also, while we're here, I have hit this final point. MathPig is 3 subs away from 800. If any of you aren't subbed to MathPig,
yes, right,
go and sub to him now. He'll give
Hi,
you a
Jamie.
link.
Welcome.
In second grade, we got there. Wait, what the hell? Just wait.
Oh
we
no,
got our mouths washed out for
by the
swearing.
way, he's MathPig has gone to. According to this, MathPig is 802 subscribers.
Oh, he lied
So
to get more subs.
No. Actually, no. In fairness, sometimes YouTube's a bit weird with how it updates things. So,
Ricardo says, I wrote an open letter against a teacher who I felt was a religious bigot and had no business promoting anti-abortion laws. I got punished for using the school copy machine for political reasons. But the teacher is allowed to. MathPig says, mosh pit in the vending machine room. That seems like something you do.
You sound like a man after my own heart, MathPig.
Santi says, I got suspended for punching the security guard. He tried to steal my lollipop. I was a conflicted kid. Did you have a big lollipop? Lucy says, my brother went to private school and got sent home for having dye spray in his hair. Fair enough.
I thought I was going to say when got sent home for having died.
Having died. Lucy says,
you are deceased. Go home.
Dude, I'm sure there'll be something in the rules about only allowed people being able to attend. What's that? Whilst my mum was picking him up, a teacher was telling some kid off for pushing a door open with his foot as he had his hands full of textbooks. What was he meant to do?
I didn't hear Starkey's answer.
We haven't got to Starkey. We haven't got to most of you.
Oh, okay.
The chat's gone nuts. I'm going to have to skip over them. Jamie said, hello, Jamie. The dumbest thing I got in trouble for is my friend flipped me off and not knowing what it was, I did it back and I was the one that got into trouble. See, that's what happened to me when I screamed cunt at my sister. Starkey.
It was fourth grade. No, third grade. I lived in Texas. One of my friends had gone hunting over the weekend and accidentally brought his knife to school. It was like, I don't know, 6-7 inch blade in his backpack. And he showed it to me and I kept my mouth shut. The next day, I thought I would be cool and, bring one too. Well, the one I chose was part of a little pair of nail clippers. So, and it didn't even have a blade on it. It was never like filed down or sharpened or anything. So it was just one of those little swing out, like kind of like under your nail cleaning things. I got 2 weeks of in-house suspension for it.
Jeez.
2 freaking weeks I had to sit in the principal's office and do all of my schoolwork there at the table.
Zero tolerance policies make so much sense, don't they?
At least you had clean nails.
It was shocking.
Matt Pick says, I brought a knife to school from 13. You lived in Northern Ireland.
I used to bring a knife to school, but I didn't realise you weren't supposed to.
I got into trouble taking a knife to school once, so
See,
yeah.
this is what I find really weird in terms of being rough in the past. I never got into trouble for taking. I never took a knife to school.
There's okay, so
I
Dom.
was just used to always having a penknife in my pocket.
Angel's best friend, who is fucking ginormous. He's 6'7". So they were doing like a sweep of the school because somebody had a knife in their car and got in trouble for it. They got suspended for it. So they were going and searching just like random kids, and they brought Dom into the principal's office. And he had one of those credit card knives, that look, like a card, and they slip in your wallet. And they hadn't found anything on him, but he decided he didn't want to get in more trouble. So he brought it. He's like, I totally forgot this was in here. Here you go. And they fucking suspended him for 2.5 weeks. Bullshit.
That seems
excessive.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
I just would have told him.
Mando, what did you do?
We had these doors that had 3 panels of glass, and we were walking through them. It was in during class, so there was just a couple of us in the hallway. It was empty, and some of the kids were just kicking the doors open at the bottom. But
I
jumped.
see a little silhouette of a man.
Scaramouche, can you do the fandango?
And it might not hurt, or just people feel like
no, go on. Sorry.
Because I was a gymnast, so my feet went high, and I kicked the top panel and I shattered it. And the principal was like, I don't know what to like. He was impressed. He's like, I've never seen anybody get the top one before. But I mean, I never got in trouble at school ever. Good girl, but yeah, I did that. So.
Rap says, I was a good boy at school and never got into trouble. Why do I think someone is about to throw up? Gibbler says, when I was
somehow I managed to get it through my secondary school, but I was on my last warning, like for fuck up one more time, you're going to get expelled.
Am I still here?
No. We can't see you, but you are still here.
Jenny, you got the same screen
Jeff.
as me.
We can't see Jeff either, but I think there's a reason for Jen not being able to see Jeff.
So I'm gonna step out. Come right back in.
Okay.
You say?
I will go. Gibbler says, I went to Cairo American College. I said the word "but" in class as I'd heard it on the playground, and I got detention for a week. Still protesting my innocence to this day. You need Kent Hovind's lawyer. Sewing says, you're back. I did have an awesome teacher who let me leave the classroom before a drug sniffing dog entered. She saw the fear in my eyes. Badger.
I got a couple, and you can pick your favourite.
Go on.
So, One time I was thrown through a door by someone else. And
That one's my favorite.
Christ.
was given a detention.
For damaging the door?
It didn't help. Well, for damaging the teaching assistant that was behind the door. They threw me through the door, and the door hit the teaching assistant.
Fair enough.
The next one is I threw up on the teacher's shoes
Why?
So you got in trouble for that?
because I wasn't feeling very well. I said to her, I said that I'm not feeling very well. I don't think I'm feeling up to doing this thing we're about to do. And she was like, "Was just excited?" At which point I immediately just went.
Was it a direct hit or like splash off?
No, this was like proper. This was
That's impressive.
this was like a full breakfast.
Oh. Right. Next question.
Wait.
Wait a
you.
minute. I didn't answer.
Dave,
I
did
thought
you?
you did. I thought
Jenny
you were
hasn't
first.
answered.
Go on,
No,
Jenny.
You completely ignored me. Now I don't know if I want to answer.
Go
I'm
on.
hurt.
You're hurt.
I told my teacher to go to hell once, and she instantly dragged me out into the hallway and said, "What's this all about?" And I explained to her, "You accused me of being rowdy and causing trouble in the back of the room, and it wasn't me for once; it was somebody else." And she said, "Oh, okay." And let me back in the room. I was the hero of the class for the rest of the year.
So you told her to go to hell, and off she went.
I got suspended for telling a French teacher to F off one time.
All right, that's your sixth story now, Jeff.
This is...
I've got more.
Let's
I
go.
have more.
That's okay, because there's 6 of us on the panel and more questions. So
Well,
I know
not
that
not everybody was like a goody two shoes like you, Manda.
I know, but he said the worst. One question, one answer. That's all. Just one.
Can we do the next one now?
Wait, did you answer?
No, I don't really remember ever getting into trouble. I can only ever remember once getting into trouble, and I hadn't done it, so I suppose that's pretty dumb. Pretty dumb. And that was talking. That was just talking.
Oh, bullshit. You're such a liar.
Why
Dave,
would I
see-
get into trouble at school? I had a card that said I didn't have to be there, so I wasn't there very much.
I think you got into trouble for bouncing.
No, I was on crutches for a lot of the school.
Dave, seeing as you don't have a story, do you want me to tell one of mine on your behalf there?
No, because I want the
No.
next question. The next question's interesting. I like the next question.
Okay, let's hear it.
I used to go free running, and a guy broke his leg one week and then came in the next week on crutches. So your argument is invalid there.
If you enjoyed that, please hit the thumbs up button. If you didn't, hit the thumbs down. If you think you've got a better answer or just want to tell us how wrong we are, leave a comment down below. Subscribe down here for new questions every day, and make sure you hit the bell so you don't miss out on our live shows. If you click over here, you'll see our latest upload. Over here, for what YouTube thinks you'll love the most. And finally, for a complete playlist of all our currently released questions, click here.